Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale, and I've got my old friend, a proud member of Viva La Sparky. It feels like that was so long ago, man. What's up, VULKan? Welcome back.
Hey, it's going good. And yeah, it was like a year and a half ago. It's kind of crazy to think
I
about.
know I can't believe we're going into year 4 of Clash Royale. It doesn't feel like that long, but in a sense, like especially when you think of those live events, like heck, Helsinki tournament was like 3 years ago. That's crazy. But anyway, enough reminiscing. How you been, dude? Are you excited for CRL 2019?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm just waiting for it to be announced and stuff, but
I know, right?
I'm
Like
ready.
Supercell, get on that. Give us some info, please. You know. So anyway, I'm excited too. But yeah, I'm kind of like, okay, are you going to be with TSM in 2019 CRL, or do you not know yet? Or I know everything's up in the air at this point, kind of.
Yeah, I really don't know yet. I mean, a lot of teams, like my contract with them has ended, and a lot of
Okay,
teams like want me on their team. So for me, it's just going
obviously,
to be
right?
deciding what's the best team, what's the best match for me.
Yeah, let's be honest. It's like who has the dopest team house, right? That's what you really care about, right?
Oh yeah, no.
Nah, but any team obviously would be incredibly lucky to have you. Do you feel like just this is the deck, by the way, that we're going to cover today, guys. I'll put a timestamp on when we start the first match. Going to be live ladder today. But do you feel like your skill wise, if you had to give yourself a self assessment, because I feel like you just from King's Cup 2 to CRL Season 1, you took such an amazing step as one of the top players in the game. Do you feel like there's more room for you to even grow on top of where you are now? Or do you feel like, okay, you know, I put in a lot of time, I'm at my skill cap, you know?
Um, that's an interesting question, and I think I definitely am at like the best I've ever been. I think if you looked at me last year, I was like I wouldn't put myself anywhere near where I am right now. Like last year I only knew like 3 decks. Now I know like 10 different like variants.
Wow.
I think that there's a lot of decks that I have mastered, but there's a couple like Lava Hound, Three Musketeers, and like stuff. It's like stuff like that is like in the past I've mastered versions of them, but
Mhm.
every meta new versions come out, so you kind of have to remaster the decks.
I got you.
So I would say yes, in the sense I have mastered metas, but every meta you just kind of have to remaster the meta.
I
So
get you. Yeah.
that's kind of how it works.
What do you think is your weakest archetype overall out of everything?
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
even
is there
know if it's my
one?
weakest, but like Lava Hound Miner, I just don't I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I like Lava Loon, and you might even see me play Lava Hound Miner sometimes just to like if I'm in a competitive match just to hard counter someone.
Mhm.
But I would say it's a deck that I'm really not a big fan of.
Okay, well, to the deck that you are a big fan of is the one that we're going to be talking about today, and is your version of Miner is pretty free-to-play friendly. Of course, it does have Miner in the Mortar deck, but you know, other than that, just one epic card is pretty easy to level up, and it's really good for ladder. Why do you like this version of Mortar Bait, I guess, so much?
Well, in particular, I think that this version is good because this actually should be able to counter balloon decks, and it might have a little bit of a rougher time against decks like Royal Giant, but you can still outplay them. One thing about Mortar you're going to see is like you can pretty much outplay any matchup, especially with all the crazy new Dark Goblin variants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really versatile, and since there's like isn't Magic Archer in the meta, you don't necessarily need like Fireball.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you don't have a big spell at all here. No, no. All you have actually, you don't have a small spell other than Barbaro. So should be interesting to see like how you negotiate that. But you have plenty of swarm cards, obviously, as well. So let's go ahead and stop talking and hop into a match here. You're pretty high on ladder right now. You're currently 130 in the world. So why don't we go ahead and hop in, and we'll see you guys when we find a match. And before we get into the action, guys, just wanted to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor. It is Joy City Corp. They are launching a brand new MMORPG, which, oh my god, is my jam, my go-to. A lot of you know that's how I started gaming way back in the late 90s with EverQuest. Now they have a new title launching called The War of Genesis Battle of Antaria on mobile. So what is this game? Well, like I said, it is a strategy MMORPG. This is a very polished game, guys. It features more than 80 unique heroes with new heroes added every month. There's a loads of real-time PvP in the overworld, and then there's a fully fleshed out story mode, including 75 tough levels in hard mode. They have guild versus guild combat, and you can even customize your own storylines, including custom cutscenes. I'd highly recommend you guys try out this new game that launched today. Check out, here we go, guys.
Oh, Metal Bond. This guy used to be well known for Giant. But
Giant, right? Yeah, Giant triple spell.
I'm guessing he's not playing Giant. If he is, that's gonna really suck.
Yeah, right? So I guess that, like, when you talk about the worst matchups for this deck, do you think it is... Ooh, okay, so Bowler is not too bad.
That's
not
good.
as bad.
Yeah, this is probably a good matchup, actually.
And you sneak that Dark Goblin in there, just so it can kill that Bowler and stay alive, hopefully. Yep.
Okay, and there use that, so now I can go in with a Miner Goblin game because he has no login cycle. And one important thing here is that I'm always going to be playing my Miner in that position because he has Tornado and I don't want him to activate his King Tower.
Good call. And he graveyards immediately, so graveyard freeze here.
Yep. Honestly, that might have been a tiny mistake, but it shouldn't cost me anything.
Yeah, he uses that NATO. I'm not sure. You know, he does do a lot of damage, though, so I guess you can't really complain about it at the end of the day. And then you mortar immediately.
Yeah, I did it because I didn't want him to have enough elixir for Bowler.
Gotcha.
Because he is one card away from it still.
Yeah. You do such a good job at like, really... It's one thing to count elixir, it's another thing to count elixir and put the pressure when you know they have, okay, only 2 elixir short of what they need to play their counter or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you, VULKan, a little bit about, like, lane strategy with this deck, meaning that, like, how do you choose your lane? You're going against Graveyard. Right now you've been going same lane. How do you choose to switch lanes or to do it different, or to do it differently?
Usually you switch lanes when they cycle a card in the back of the tower because you don't want them to be able to build up a push in the same lane that you're doing. And also, I don't want to be attacking the same lane as him because he's a Graveyard player.
Okay.
So I'm going to switch lanes to Mortar right here.
Okay.
The only problem is that he has Bowler in cycle. Okay, that's actually good for me that he did that.
Mm-hmm. So he goes in with a huge elixir push. You're just going to Bar Barrel and Dark Goblin. That's fine. And
Exactly.
And he switched lanes there. Just going back to the point we were making, guys. You saw VULKan switch lanes there. That was a nice addition with those bats there to take care of that whiz. But he switched lanes there because, again, against a Graveyard player, he's going to kind of pick and choose his spots. Doesn't want them to, even if he had dropped a Bowler in the back on the right lane, he would have switched to the left lane. So here we go.
Yep, and you always want to... The main thing is just keeping the Mortar in the opposite lane. It's not even necessarily the other troops.
Mm-hmm.
He might Tornado that, but that's fine by me.
Yep, he opts not to. Instead, he's going to try to go in with a big, potentially lethal push here. He plays that that minion horde right into the baby dragon. Just needs to stop the troops coming down the lane. So he takes a decent amount of damage there, and then Bowler's back in hand. So he's going to send in Miner, and again, a bunch of Swarm getting ready for that E-Wiz. This time he delays on the E-Wiz. Smart move on his part.
Yep, this is going to be a close match for sure.
Mm-hmm. So we're almost 30 seconds into sudden death overtime here. It's just these decks can be so annoying because of how huge of a push they can pull off. And here he goes, left lane. Minion Horde again, adeptly played at the bridge there. Freeze comes down. He has Bar Barrel in hand. I don't like that freeze on his part. And he missed the Dark Goblin. So potentially an opening here for VULKan. He's putting on so much pressure here in the left lane.
Oh, is he gonna? I don't think he has enough elixir for E-Wiz. Yeah, that's
the
a
double
win.
Dark Goblin. Wow, GG's, man. That was crazy. And Metal Bond is really, really good with his deck, too.
Mm-hmm.
Just that last freeze, do you think that was what cost him the game? Like the overcommitment there?
Yeah, I don't think he should have switched lanes in that. Well, honestly, I mean, I kind of had the counter in that scenario, so he actually did play it pretty well, but
yeah,
I think that was a little bit of a mistake.
Well, let's hop into match number 2 and see if we can keep this. We'll see if we can make this a win streak, I should say. Here we go. Next match, that was pretty fast, and hey, it's the beginning of the match. I'm gonna serve up some hot pancakes, and while I do so, Can you talk a little bit about first plays? Are you ever going to open up with a mortar in this deck?
Yeah, the best two first plays of this deck are going to be Mortar at the bridge is the best play, and then second best play is just going to be a Miner. Because
Okay.
with this deck, you always want to be keeping up the pressure.
Okay. I'm just curious too. Like, I know you're not, known as a hog player, but you're so versatile. But what's your like philosophy on first plays in general? Like, if you're playing a hog deck, are you starting out with a hog as well?
Yeah, you're always starting out with a hog first play, and that's something I learned from Firewolf. There's only there's a couple cases where if you're using like a hog deck with baits in it, sometimes you want to split troops in the back before you hog.
Okay.
But if you're playing just like a hog cycle deck, you should be playing hog first play.
And you said that our only problem might be Royal Giant, and here we go. So, does this really come down to, well, his big spell is obviously either Fireball or Lightning, so this could be trouble. So what is your strategy going to be against this matchup?
Well, it is a little bit harder because I don't have Prince. If I had Prince, I counter. My strategy is just going to be...
muting this guy, first off.
Yeah, well, is he muted? I'm not even noticing. I mean, what I need to do right now is just cycle back to Mortar.
Yeah.
He doesn't have Tornado, so that's good to keep in mind. I'll play that low. Oh, wow.
There's a Lightning. Ooh, that's going to be a pain. So now you have to be, like, super... Are you going to change your mortar placement now because of the Lightning, or...?
No,
Okay.
I'm not, because Lightning is 6 elixir and Mortar's 4 elixir, so I'm totally fine with him using a Lightning on it.
Okay.
I think this is actually not that bad of a matchup. I know when I used to play Royal Giant, I would frequently lose to this Mortar deck.
Okay. A man of honesty and integrity. Here we go. Sometimes it's easy to be like, they have matchup every single match,
Yeah, for sure. If I had Prince, though, it's like super hard counter.
Yeah. And why do you prefer Rascals to Prince then? Obviously, you must prefer Rascals in most other matchups.
Just because it's really not a reason. Both of them work. That's the thing. That's the thing about Mortar. Like, so many versions work.
Yeah. It just comes down to personal preference, ultimately, it sounds like.
Exactly.
So this time he uses his Lightning again, but he only gets one Royal Giant shot. But at this point, all the furnaces are adding up. You do a good job with that Miner, pulling that furnace back. But between furnaces and bar barrels, you decide to go all in the left, knowing he has Lightning, Royal Giant, Baby Dragon in hand.
Yeah, I'm kind of losing this tower race right now. So
kind of.
we gotta make something happen.
Yeah. And another furnace, which is annoying. So a defensive mortar. Minion horde. He lightnings. This could be an opportunity for you here.
Yep. It might.
Oh, come on. Come on. Get to that tower. Bats. Minions on the tower. Miner on the tower.
There we go. We got it. I was definitely at the start of the game. I was playing that a little bit too slow.
Okay.
I should have been pressuring the opposite lane a lot more than I was doing.
Wow, dude, that was insane, though. That was insane. Okay, so go ahead and search for your next match, but as we do, we might have to edit out again, but as we do, talk a little bit more about the decision on the support troops, because, like, let's face it, Mortar Bait is a thing, is a really strong archetype, but then you have Mortar Bait with Miner, Mortar Bait with Hog, Mortar Bait with Prince and Miner, Mortar Bait with Rascals and Miner. Maybe just kind of give, like, you don't have to go into super detail, but, like, in your mind, what are the strengths and weaknesses of those different kind of configurations? Obviously, you prefer this one.
Okay, so if you're going against a lot of bowler or like beatdown, you want to use Prince because bowler doesn't knock back Prince, and then Prince is really good versus like giant decks and golem decks and stuff like that. But if you're versing a lot of like I don't know, Hog. Actually, Prince is pretty good versus Hog too. But if you're versing a lot of like Lava Hounds and like air decks, you want to have, like the Rascals and the Minion Horde in there. It's really good against balloon decks that you don't need Prince for.
Okay.
So it's kind of like beatdown, you bring Prince. If you're not versing beatdown, you don't really need Prince necessarily.
And do you feel like Mortar Miner is just in a better spot overall than Mortar Hog right now?
Yeah, for sure. I think
Yeah.
so.
All
I
right,
mean,
well,
you see
yeah.
Macarius pushing with it, but it's not the best.
Yeah, it's kind of like Macarius, and then that's about it. But you see a lot of people having success with the Mortar Miner combos. So anyway, we'll go ahead and edit out and come out to you guys in match number 3. Here we go. All right, against Masik Star.
I don't know how to pronounce that either.
All right, we'll give him the nod. What's your favorite emote, VULKan?
My favorite emote is probably this one or this one. I like to do a little combination of both.
a little 1-2 combo, a little pro emote tips.
Exactly.
So
This looks like another Mortar Mirror match. Yep.
Wow. Okay. So, Mortar versus Mortar. What is your strategy going to be on a mirror match?
Well,
Do you want to be the yeah? Go ahead. Sorry.
Usually, you want to be the second one to drop the mortar.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
It's not like gonna lose you the game necessarily. There's like, it's kind of about mind games.
Okay. Yeah, because I always feel almost hesitant. Like, are you not even gonna play some mortar at this point until he does, and just use your miner? Okay.
No,
so
I think I will. I've watched a lot of like matches from Midfinger, and he will like play his mortar on offense. So
okay.
I think it is a good idea.
So he has Prince, you have Rascals. Who do you think has matchup there, or is it just totally doesn't really matter that much?
Honestly, I don't think it matters
matchup.
that much.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So getting a little bit more chip damage, which is actually really beneficial. Taking it all the way down to 22-14. Now, does your play style change if you're in the lead against a match, another like mirror deck like this, or not really?
Not. I mean, it's more like if you're losing, you might play more aggressive.
I got you.
If you're leading, usually you want to just keep playing safe.
Yep. Dark Goblin cleans up nicely.
Really, the trick is always that you want to, anytime you have like counter pushing spam troops, you always just want to be adding your miner like on that offense.
And then the risk is, and I guess a big mistake would be sending in your miner when you have for no reason, when you have no surviving troops or whatever, unless it's like a stale point in the match or something.
Well, actually, if you have like the Fireball version, I would say that's fine, but with this version, probably not.
Okay.
Actually, he does have Zap, so I'll go with Rascals because he's going to he didn't Zap. But that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wonder if this guy has like Fireball or Rocket or something as his last spell.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The only thing here is that I don't have a big spell, so it might be hard for me to like actually finish off the game if he starts predicting all my miners.
That's true. That's true. So he fireballs there, which is, I don't know, not too bad for you because you keep a couple Spirit Goblins alive. Now you play Rascals. Mortar's such annoyance to the Rascals, though. It's going to clean up all your spam here.
Actually, though, you're right. You did Fireball, so I'm going aggressive.
And you guys can see just the pressure that VULKan's putting right now on that left tower. Just not giving him enough time to build like a huge push behind his... Oh, here it goes. I guess this is his version of a big push. Rascals there at the last second. Nice play.
Yep.
Oof, this is a tough one, man. This is close. Every time he comes at you with that Charging Prince and the Mortar and the bats and stuff, I'm like, oh crap, this is it. Dark Goblin value, Bar Barrel value, and Rascals are there again to save you. Whew. It's a defensive Mortar maybe. Yep, there it is.
I keep playing my miner in the same spot, but he hasn't been predicting it, so I'm just going to keep
so
playing
keep
it there.
going for it, right? I guess that would be the exception to the rule of always switch up your miner if you're always playing it in the same spot and they never guess it. It's kind of like one of those things, like you said, mind games, right? It's like they're probably thinking like he's not going to go again in the same spot, right?
Exactly. As soon as he uses that... Oh, wow.
He switches it and he finally gets that spot. There you go. Okay, well, opposite lane Mortar here. Oh, Bar Barrel goes down. Fireball comes down. Now you can play
that
Minion
means
Horde.
I can go with Minion Horde.
Yep. And he knows you're going to go Minion Horde here, so this is going to be like a big push. Minion Horde, Miner,
see if I can get him. That might get.
That's it. That's it. Boom!
There we go. GG.
GG, man. Hey, well played, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. I've been getting a lot of requests both for you and for a mortar deck. I saw that you uploaded yesterday. Are you, like, what's going on the YouTube channel? Anything that we should be aware of on the horizon, or just trying to stay active and whatnot?
Yes, I definitely, man, I struggle with, like, getting the motivation to make videos, but, like, I've kind of taken a look. At first, I wasn't sure if I wanted to make them for a while, but I've kind of taken a look at it, and I'm like, you know what? I think it is the right thing to do, so I'm not just wasting my time all day watching Netflix and YouTube. So I'm gonna start making videos. And I've written out like a bunch of tips for 2.6 and a bunch of tips for 2.9 because people always comment on my old videos that I made of it and are always like, oh, you should make another video. So I'm gonna make those videos. I talked to like some pros, and I've been watching Jack and Air Surfer play, so I kind of have some really solid things that like they do that I want to share on my channel. I wrote the tips. I just have to like speak them and record it.
yes, that's the hard part. But actually, you have the hard part's done. You have it all written down, so that's good, man. I advise all my viewers, of course, to check out VULKan's YouTube channel, subscribe to him, guys. Turn on the notification bell, especially if you want those 2.6 and 2.9 kind of strategy guides for the 2019 meta. So VULKan, thanks again for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Ash.
No problem. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Check out VULKan's player stats, profile, YouTube channel. Everything that you guys need will be in the show notes below. Huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information as well. Thank you, and as always, take care, guys.